Welcome back to another Mets franchise episode, and today we're taking a look at JD Martinez, who the Mets signed in real life. However, even though he would provide us a lot of power and a really big bat, he just wants way too much money, and money we're not willing to pay right now, nor can we afford, as we have a projected deficit of negative $16 million. Instead, we'll take a look at the minor league season AAA opening day, our Syracuse Mets at Majestic Green Stadium. We'll see if we can get the real life ones, maybe in the vault if somebody's done those up. But Jose Butto taking the hill for us on opening day. 42 innings last year to a 3.64 ERA and a 1.33 whip. We'll see what he can do as he gets Baker just sitting there looking for the backwards K. And the Red Wings off to a poor start. They're having Jesse Winker down in AAA, and he just sits there looking at strike number 3. Opposing Butto will be Mitchell Parker, and you see his scouting report there, coming up against one of our top prospects, Drew Gilbert, and Gilbert takes this thing into center field, getting it to land for a base hit. Here's Luis Angel Acuna, and he gets a base hit as well past shortstop, so 2 on, 1 away for Zach Short, who will swing and miss. He's one of our older minor leaguers at 28 years old. Here's Bannon. He's also quite old. I think he's 28 as well. He gets that lifted into left, but he is the final out of the first. Butto in the top of the third, a 12-6 curve that is off the mark, and the second walk for Butto. He's got the bases walk loaded. Here's House. He will draw a walk as well, which will be a run coming home. First run of the ball game as that one crosses the plate. Now Jesse Winker with the bases loaded, swinging and missing at the circle change down low and away for a strikeout for Butto. His pitch count getting up there, and Yepez is going to take this thing over the left field wall. That 375 sign, that thing is gone. A grand salami. How about a salami sandwich as that thing goes over the wall, and Rochester kind of taking it to our Syracuse Mets right now as we go down 6-zip in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's Hawk. He's what guy we have a lot of high hopes for, and he grounds into a double play to win the 7th. Into the top of the 8th, Cole Sulzer on the mound, and here's Mias. He hits this thing into left field. Cortez trying to throw it a third. Not in time. It's 7-0 Rochester. Here's Baker up at the plate, and Baker getting this one to shallow right field. Coley able to make the catch and hold the runner at third base, so nobody coming home. Here's Howes at the plate, and Howes has had a decent day, and he continues to, gapping this one in between Coley and Gilbert, as Gilbert will make the run and get it, but this one going to end up being a triple for Howes. Rochester up 9-0. Jesse Winker continues to strike out. He has been the worst Rochester Red Wing hitter. The bottom of the 9th, Luis Angel Acuna at least gives us something to smile about as Acuna takes it over the left field wall and makes it not a shutout for our Syracuse Mets. That thing goes 400 feet too. For a top prospect in the organization, gives us something to hang our hat on, even though we are absolutely going to get slammed in this opening day of AAA baseball. So thank you to Acuna for providing something nice. Here's Bannon. He swings and misses, and the out is confirmed for a Rochester Red Wings victory here on opening day in AAA. So 9-1, our Syracuse Mets go down. We will get to AA, but first we have an opportunity here in the top of the 8th inning. Bases loaded. Adrian Hauser pitching, and this one right to Starling Marte out in the left field. They will try to tag and score, and the Tigers take a 3-2 lead. Off of a Colt Keith sac fly, here's Spencer Torkelson, and he will not get that by Jeff McNeil. That one will be the final out. So we go into the bottom half here. Shelby Miller coming in to pitch. He has not had a great season thus far. It is early, though. Here's a 3-2 game, and Brett Beatty on the first pitch. And a fly to center. That will end the 8th inning. So we go to the top of the 9th inning. Andy Ibanez able to get past Jeff McNeil They're going to try to come home here. Marte's throw is going to beat the runner. And the Mets will remain down just one run after an absolute laser from startling Marte. It was a little off the mark, but he got some great help from Alvarez, able to get over there and apply the tag in time. It was a close play. Jason Foley going to come in to try to close this thing out for the Tigers. His first opportunity of the season. It's Jeff McNeil taking this thing into center field, and that is out number one. Nice run and catch out there in center. Here's Marte. He's taking it over to short, and it is caught. What a play on defense. Foley, though, having some issues, and he had both hands on his back. He's going to have to be removed from the ball game, so Alex Alange will come in. He hasn't had an appearance yet this season, so we'll see what he's able to do after a decent season last year. Here's Brandon Nimmo swinging and missing, and that is one of the guys that we really need to come through for us if he's going to be making over $20 million a season. But he's not able to there. Jack Flaherty gets the win. Adrian Hauser the loss. Alex Lange with the save. A 3-2 Tiger victory. Now we will check out Double-A as the Binghamton Rumble Ponies will open their season at the porch against the New Hampshire Fisher Cats, and Brandon Sproat will take the mound for Binghamton. There is his scouting report. He's got a decent fastball. We'll see if he can use it. And he does there to get the strikeout against Espino. So Sproat with a strikeout with 2 on and 2 out. He gets another one to get himself out of the inning. What a pitch. So there you go. Binghamton looking to get some hits against Paxton Schultz, who has a bit of a slower fastball than Sproat, but he's got that two-seam fastball as well that he can use. We'll see. Going up against one of our top Double-A prospects in Ryan Clifford, who gets the single, and that is going to drive home the first run of the season. Ryan Clifford with the first RBI of the year in Double-A. Here's Camacho Rollins, and he swings and misses, wearing that number 69. Looking nice, but not swinging nice just yet. There's Britton going down. Sproat getting some strikeouts here early. It's the top of the 5th, and there's Eden. Little grounder over to second base to get the final out of the 5th there. Ryan Clifford up at the plate again, but this one a double play ball, and that will end the 6th inning. So we move into the final 3 innings here. Bottom of the 7th, Camacho Rawlings. He may have struck out the first time, but that one was absolutely roped to the right center field wall. Camacho Rawlins will pick up the second RBI. Here's Ritter. He takes this one out to right field. It is going to be easily caught. Camacho Rawlings is going to try it. He's coming home, and the throw is way off. Not going to be there. So Rollins with the run scored. And now we get a look at Russ Wilson. So the channel members trying to come through today to get this win for the Rumble Ponies. Russ Wilson will get the grounder over to Reamer, but Reamer's throw is way off. Horrid defense there. And that'll bring up Toman. Toman with a grounder over to short. Jet Williams, nice little flip to Ritter, who gets the throw over to first. Beautiful double play. Here's Robertson out to center, and McIlwain's got it. It's a 3-0 win for the Rumble, or lead for the Rumble Ponies as we go into the final inning, and Nathan Lavender looking to close it down. Here's Espino up at the plate. Camacho Rollins getting under it on the 1-2 pitch, and that is out number 1. Brings us to De Los Santos, who takes this thing deep to right field. Clifford's on the run at the track, and he makes the grab at the wall. Palmegiani hits this thing past Ritter over to McIlwain, and he will find himself on first base with a base knock. A 2-out single. Here's Rock, and he goes down swinging. That's it. That's a 3-0 Rumble Ponies win against the New Hampshire Fisher Cats on opening day. You love to see it. Big win for the Rumble Ponies. We saw a good little bit of our prospects today. Ryan Clifford, we saw Camacho Rawlings, we saw Russ Wilson all doing their job. Sproat with the win, Schultz with the loss, Lavender with a save on opening day. We go back to checking out the Mets as they're tied 3-3 with the Kansas City Royals in the top of the 11th inning. Here's Adam Ottavino at the plate. There's the bunt try, and that's not going to work out. That'll get us to the bottom half of the 11th inning, a chance for the Mets to win it. Big meat Pete Alonso hits this one up the middle. What a diving stop and play. That's out number 1. We've got a runner over on third for Francisco Alvarez, who will easily ground out. Way too quickly, I might add. Runner couldn't even go. Here's Ronnie Mauricio taking this thing out to left field, but that is a lazy fly ball and easy to end the 11th. Ottavino remaining on the mound. Here's Bobby Witt Jr., a lazy one over to first base, and Alonso takes care of it easily. Salvador Perez at the plate, and Salvi gets a blooper into left field. Nimmo going to get there, but doesn't stop the single. Here's Freddie Fermin, and Fermin takes this thing into right field. Harrison Bader will get out there and make the play on it, keep it to just 1. Here's Dairon Blanco, and Blanco looking to bloop this one past Weddle, and he does. Nimmo over there will throw Salvador Perez out as he is just too slow. Adam Frazier, though, draws a walk. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's Brooks Raley coming into the game now. He has not had a great season thus far. Might be trade bait at the deadline if it keeps going that way, but KC up 4-3 in the top of the 12th. And Nimmo gets it to the bottom half. Will Smith coming in. He's 5 of 5 on save opportunities to start his season. It is going to be tough, as it will be Tyrone Taylor swinging and missing for out number 1. Here's Brett Beatty now, and Beatty takes a smack right on the shoulder. Beatty goes down, takes his base, and here's Harrison Bader, and he gets this one to fall right in the middle of 3 Kansas City Royals. Interesting here, as, look at that, the pitcher does not see him running behind, so remains bases loaded. Here is McNeil, and McNeil gaps one easily. Jeff McNeil is going to get the 2 RBIs necessary for the Mets to win this thing. Huge hit for Jeff McNeil. He comes up huge, and the Mets get the win in the black jerseys, 5-4 behind Jeff McNeil. Brooks Raley ends up with a win. But Kansas City gets a chance for a little payback here as they get a hit off of Adrian Hauser that scores 2 runs in the top of the 9th. Salvi Perez with a chance. He takes this one deep to center field, but Harrison Bader able to range back and make that grab. So 3-1 it remains. Will Smith now 5 of 6 in his save opportunities as he blew that last one. But he's got a chance here. Bader over to first base, and that's an easy put away for out number 1. Bringing up Starling Marte. Marte's going to take this thing out to right field, and that one is caught for out number 2. So it's up to Trace Thompson. Thompson swinging and missing, but on the pass ball, it's Salvi Perez down to first base to confirm the win for the Kansas City Royals. They get this one done this time as Brents gets the win. Hauser takes the loss. He's 0-2 on the season, but the Mets do win the series 2-1. Will Smith's 6th save of the year. Jorge Lopez is going to be out for 1 to 2 weeks, so he's going to go on the 15-day DL. And we go to Pittsburgh. Brian Reynolds at the plate in the top of the 9th in a 3-3 game, and he flies right out to Starling Marte to get this thing in the bottom of the 9th. Colin Holderman coming in. He's 1-1 on the season, pitched 11.2 innings to a 3.09 ERA so far in his 8 appearances. Here's Brandon Nimmo, and he takes this thing into right center field. That one's going to roll, and Reynolds able to cut it off, but it's not going to stop Nimmo from sliding headfirst into second base. Nimmo getting everybody pumped up. Here's Frankie Lindor. Lindor takes it over to short. Can't make the play cleanly, and both runners are safe on the corners. Big meat Pete Alonso up the middle. What a play by Holderman. Able to get the double play. Surprised Nimmo didn't go for home, but he didn't, and it's up to Bader, who lifts it to right field, shy of the warning track, and we're going to extra innings. In extras, it is 3-3. Austin Adams at the hill for Rowdy Tellez at the plate, and he gets him swinging and missing on the slider for a strikeout. Here's a slow roller. Connor Joe thrown out at first, but the free runner moves over to third for Leover Higuero, who hits this thing into shallow center field. Bader makes the catch, and we go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Starling Marte now hits one right through the gap between first and second. Marte, there's the try, and it is a score for Harrison Bader, scoring the winning run. There it is, as the Mets get another exhilarating walk-off victory, this time off of the bat of Starling Marte, hitting it right in the gap. I guess nobody thought he was going to. Harrison Bader rolling it home as the Mets get another win, 4-3 at home. Austin Adams getting the win. Colin Holderman has to take the L, and the Mets end up winning that series 2-1 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Move on to another series, top of the 9th here, 5-5. Mets and Giants, this one at Oracle Park. Frankie Lindor with a chance, 0-for-4 on the day, hits this one towards the left center field gap, and it will fall. And we've got some confusion going on the base paths, but it ends up being bases loaded for Jeff McNeil, who hits it down the first baseline. McNeil into a double play. Giants escape. So now we go to the bottom of the 9th. Austin Slater draws a walk from Adrian Hauser. That was his third walk of the day. So Brooks Raley going to come in, and like I said before, he's not having a very good season. If that continues, he may be a trade candidate. And if this continues, he will definitely be a trade candidate as Wilmer Flores gets it down in left field. Nimmo trying to make the last-ditch effort home, but you are not going to beat Fitzgerald home. He's 99 speed, and the Giants walk it off at Oracle Park. So exhilarating games going both ways, both positively and negatively, as Ryan Walker gets the win. Adrian Hauser with his 4th loss of the year. And the Mets win the series anyway, 2-1. They were going for the sweep there. Here's Big Meat Pete. He had failed us once. What's he going to do this time? 7-6 in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs, and that's what Big Meat Pete did. There you go. Well, not great for a guy looking for a contract extension, as the Cubs come into Citi Field and get a 7-6 win. Leading the series 1-0, Ottavino has to take the loss. Alzolay gets his 6th save. Ronnie Mauricio with a chance in the bottom of the 9th against the Cubs here, and that's going to be a double play. Nobody on the base paths now for Trace Thompson, and another one behind the plate. I don't know what it is with Alzolay, but he gets people to pop up behind home plate, and that's an easy Cubs win as well. Wow, so we just can't get it done against the Cubbies. Cubbies come into Citi Field and take the series 2-1 off a 5-4 win there. Almonte gets the win. Hauser with his 5th loss. Now Alzolay with 7 saves. Pete Alonso now trying again. He's trying it in St. Louis against Giovanni Gallegos, and this time that's the Big Meat Pete that we all know and love and care for, as Pete Alonso takes it over the left field wall for a bomb. That one's out of here. It's his 11th home run of the season, traveling 410 feet, and he gives the Mets a lead that they needed, 3-1 in the top of the 8th inning. Huge hit for Alonso. It ends up giving the Mets a victory, 3-1, as they end up closing it out with Edwin Diaz. 11 saves on the season for Diaz to take the series 2-1 against the Cardinals. So, that brings us to a rivalry series at Citi Field. 3-3 against the Phillies, and Tyrone Taylor takes it to left, and it is caught. What a shoestring grab out there in left field. We go to the bottom of the 13th. McNeil against Spencer Turnbull, and McNeil on a double play ball, and it is complete to end the 13th inning. Now, you knew it wasn't going to last forever. Garrett Stubbs had an RBI single. Castellanos was walked in, and the Phillies win the game by a total of 5-3. Spencer Turnbull, 4-0 for them. Austin Adams gets his first loss of the season. Jose Alvarado with 17 saves. It was a 1-1 series. Now, we get offered a trade. Yimi Garcia, now, who actually has a really good ERA. He's pitching really well out of the pen. All all right? But I'm not giving up Luis Severino, a 3.74 ERA, a 4-1 record. He has pitched really well in our rotation, so we're not going to do that trade. You can see where we are in the middle of May right now in that series against the Phillies, but we move on a little bit further to the series against the Giants later in the month. Matt Chapman at the plate here in a 3-2 game. In the top of the ninth, Edwin Diaz, and Nimmo makes the play at the wall to make sure that the Mets close this thing out. In the black jerseys, they seem to do really well in those. 3-2. Hauser up to 4-5 now on his season as Diaz gets a big time save. Now, Luis Angel Acuna out for over 6 months. That is probably the worst news we could have gotten. He is going to be done for the season. And as a top prospect in the organization, we really would have liked to see what he can do. But we will not. And we move into the series against the Nationals, seeing them for the first time this season. Top of the 10th inning for Francisco Alvarez, and the pop-up in foul territory. Say it ain't so. And that is an easy out, number 2. So Ronnie Mauricio, the one with the chance, and this is right over to shortstop. Very easy play to make. That'll get us to the bottom of the 10th, where Joey Meneses comes up to the plate and hits it right into center field. Bader trying to get up and make the throw, but it is not in time. That's going to do it. Meneses able to tie this ball game up, and then look at this. The ground ball double play to get it to the end of the 11th. Crazy game thus far. We do choose to return to simulating. It may have been, well, it wasn't a mistake at all. Lindor ends up getting an RBI single, a couple more RBI singles, and a call got an RBI single for them, but it didn't matter. It's 5-3, a Mets win, and Adrian Hauser actually has a positive record now. We got a save from Brooks Raley. Move into another series against the Phillies, a 3-2 game, and Nimmo able to get not only the tying, but the leading RBI off of a single, off of Matt Strahm. That is huge. That brings up Frankie Lindor, who will swing and miss for out number 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning here. Second strikeout for Strahm. Here's Big Meat Pete. And Pete taking it over to right and diving stop, and Pete's just too slow. So that ends the 7th inning, but a 4-3 lead for the Mets. We do choose to return to simming, but that one is the mistake, as Castellanos hits a 2-run shot and gives the Phillies a 5-4 win. They're a tough team to beat this year. They sweep our Mets. Jose Alvarado up to 22 saves. We move into a series in the American League against the defending World Series champions, and Starling Marte gets one down and right. That's going to tie the game at the plate there as Brett Beatty crosses it. So Dane Dunning is brought into the game. He's had 24 appearances to a 5.53 ERA, so that's not exactly somebody we're not confident against. Here's Jeff McNeil over the head of the second baseman, all the way to the wall. Got it over Marcus Semien. And this one going to be an easy, well, not an easy, but it is not a triple. It's a double that he got caught, but it doesn't matter. He scored a couple of runs. We're cool with it. Edwin Diaz brought in to try to get the save. 22 out of 24 in his save opportunities this season. Gets a lazy little grounder by Corey Seager. McNeil easily taking care of that. That's out number 1. So we got Seager out of here. Now got to get Adolis, and Adolis Garcia swinging and missing on the 101 mile an hour fastball. And then it's Nathaniel Lowe, who doesn't even offer at probably the most legitimate strike thrown by Edwin Diaz in a while. There you go. Adam Ottavino gets a win. Edwin Diaz with the save. There's no way he only has one save. That has to be wrong. Anyways, it is time for the first year player draft, and there is a lot to go over here, so get your popcorn ready. Our Mets hold the 19th pick in this draft, with the Guardians, Reds, and Rockies making up the top 3. With the first pick in the MLB draft, the Cleveland Guardians select left fielder Nate Harder out of the University of Missouri. Harder is a very good prospect. He was ranked 4th by MLB scouts and 6th by our scouts. But at 19 years old, he has the ability to be one of the best five-tool outfielders in all of baseball when all is said and done. With the second pick in the MLB draft, the Cincinnati Reds selected first baseman Andres Rosales from the Dominican Republic. He's a solid contact hitter, but he doesn't exhibit great power for a first baseman. He has the typical low speed that you would expect from the position, and some question if he can ever really get all that good. He was ranked third by MLB scouts, but our scouts had him ranked 58th. Yikes. With the third pick in the MLB draft, the Colorado Rockies select starting pitcher Ruben Howell from Australia. He's a top-ranked prospect by both MLB and our scouts. Howell has a well-rounded outlook. He has enough stamina, velocity, and break that if he develops some control, he could really be dominant. What I don't love about him is just his three-pitch repertoire and the fact that he doesn't really get that many strikeouts. Pick 4, the A's go with closer DeAndre Hay, who is a little bit developmental. For a guy ranked second by both MLB scouts and our own, I don't think he really throws gas yet, but he could soon. Break is lackluster for now, and he gives up a lot of bombs, but he's decently clutch and doesn't give up a lot of hits or walks while having a high strikeout rate. Pick 5, the White Sox take first baseman Jason Uriasere from the University of Oklahoma. He could be an instant major leaguer with them right now, I think. He was ranked 25th, but our scouts had him a tad underrated, and honestly, I think he might be even more underrated than that. He doesn't have much speed, but he plays solid defense for a first baseman, and he can smash lefties with some clutch bat for a young player. Pick 6, the Royals went for left fielder Rob Mills from Syracuse University. Mills was listed 45th by MLB scouts and 42 by our own. Granted, we really didn't scout him that much, and that's fine because he didn't fall to us anyways. I think the Royals might think that they have an instant starter with Mills. He can hit for contact immediately, maybe even at a major league level, and he can run the bags. But his defense is going to be his crutch, and it will be less than stellar out there for quite some time. At number 7, the Cardinals take starting pitcher Pablo Cervantes out of Cuba, who was this 8th prospect for MLB scouts and 13 for our organization. Cervantes has a little ways to go to make it to the bigs, but he's got solid velocity and he doesn't allow many long balls. But he's got a lot of other things to work on a little bit before he can get to be too old for it to matter, since he's already 22. At number 8, the Angels take catcher Keith Grantham out of LSU. He's a top 10 prospect no matter who you ask, and it's for good reason. He's a very solid contact hitter for a catcher with great discipline and vision, and he can be clutch also. His issues are fielding and speed, even if he does possess a decent arm for a minor leaguer who is just 18 years of age. At pick 9, the Pirates selected starting pitcher Jim Landis from the University of Indiana. Now, Landis is 15th if you ask MLB scouts, but we had him more in the 2021 range, and it's mostly because he's more velocity and less substance as a pitcher. He doesn't have great stamina yet either. He's definitely got the potential to get himself to be a great all-around pitcher, but he definitely is going to need a year or two of development at 18 years old. And finally, at pick number 10, the Nationals went with second baseman Damon McConnell, who we had ranked a touch higher than scouts did in that 20 range. McConnell has the most potential of anybody drafted thus far, and I mean it. He's fast, he can steal bags, he fields well even with a less than stellar arm, he hits lefties well, and he has wonderful vision, discipline, and clutch at the plate. His issues are going to be durability and hitting righties. With our first pick at number 19, we looked hard at Billy Foster, who graded out really well with our scouts, even though MLB scouts weren't even looking at him. He looks like a prospect that could get into our outfield right now, even though I would definitely want him to wait out a year or two in the minors before moving him up. But it seems like he can run some, field a bit, and hit a good amount, and that's enough for me to take a chance on him. No first round pick will be changed, but if you'd like a later round draft prospect, leave a name in the comments section and I'll select some of you to get prospects in the series. Channel members are going to be guaranteed one every 2 seasons, so if you'd like to join, hit that join button. With our second round pick, we flip-flop between Michael Seo and Kevin Durbin. I ultimately went with Kevin Durbin out of Temple, who I felt would have the velocity and control combination in the future that could be deadly. He's not going to be anywhere near that right now, but at 18 years old, he has the time to develop it. In the third round, we went for Andy Velasquez from the University of Washington. Our scouts were really high on him, so pick 84 could be a steal for him if he is exactly what they say he is. He can quite clearly develop running and fielding. Hitting, we're going to have to push him to get him there, but if we can do that, he could be a great piece in the outfield. In the fourth round, it was second baseman Leonardo Vargas out of the University of Colorado. Another find by our scouts, and we're hoping they're right here too. The possibility of a mid-70s potential scares me, but at 18 years old, he could be one of those raw prospects with enough potential to get the job done. We're going to take a flyer here, as you can afford to do that in the fourth. In the fifth, we go with catcher Julio Garcia from Puerto Rico. Another one of our scouts finds. He is going to be low overall to start out with, but hopefully a ton of potential. Word on the street is he is an Ironman who never misses games. Other than that, we really expect a raw potential prospect. Finally, with our last selection, we go for left fielder Daryl Kang out of USC. We run with the scouts on this one too, and he's definitely boom or bust, as we didn't get to scout him fully, but at 22, we're hoping he's closer to boom than bust. The first thing we do is try to sign Billy Foster, as he accepts $3.88 million. Then we go for second pick Kevin Durbin, who signs for $1.92 million. Andy Velasquez is next, as he takes $869,000. Nice. Julio Garcia took $447,000 to sign, and it was going well, because $352,000 got Kang, leaving Vargas as our only unsigned at that point. Jose Quintana is an all-star, posting an 8-5 record with a 2.95 ERA, and he's joined by Edwin Diaz, having a great year with a 2.65 ERA and 28 saves. We sunk all our remaining draft money into Vargas to make him sign, as we look forward toward the trade deadline. Pete Crow Armstrong is an interesting guy on that trade block as a former Mets prospect, but it would take a good player like maybe Pete Alonso to get him over here. We currently sit at 10.5 games back in division and just 2.5 back of the wild card. So that begs the question, are we buyers or are we sellers? Then there's the whole Pete Alonso question. He's hitting .284 with 22 homers and 70 ribbies at the break, and is on pace to improve his OPS over last season. I don't want to give him big dollars, but if he'll provide us a hometown discount to return for 2 to 3 seasons, I'll take him back. Harrison Bader, on the other hand, isn't playing well. He's having his worst season since 2019, and he's on an expiring deal, so we're probably going to look to bring in a prospect for him instead. Every pitcher is doing fair enough outside of Adam Ottavino, who may be out the door at the deadline as well. Alvarez hasn't been hitting for average, but he's hitting bombs, while Nito, we can't be having that. Alonso's doing well. McNeil and Mauricio have been fine to serviceable. Brett Beatty should not be a major leaguer right now. Even Wendell is hitting better than him. Lindor doesn't have a great average, but he's hitting the ball hard. Nimmo is doing great. Trace Thompson stinks. Harrison Bader is worse. And Tyrone Taylor is our best hitting outfielder? Yep. He is, even if Marte is close. Next episode, we'll be taking on the Yankees and Matt Manning. Well, apparently the Yankees got Matt Manning for Jason Dominguez. They also moved Pereira for Langoliers. Well, we'll check out the Subway Series and our draft picks and the trade deadline in the next episode. Thanks for watching, all you legends. Shout out to the channel members for keeping the lights on. I love y'all.